Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel and to Spacehaven Alpha 20 Friends with Benefits run. We start the run with something I never thought of before in this game, schedules. I don't know why I have not done this before in this game, as this is something I always do in Oxygen Not Included and any game with a similar type of gameplay. Anyway, building individual bedrooms is expensive. You need to build the room for it and then add in the bed, table and door. However, with schedules, you can make that one bed easily accommodate 3 or maybe even 4 people. This saves resources early on while giving moral boost for not sleeping in a barracks. The only downside is that not everyone will be rested at the same time, so you must make sure your boarding party members are on the same schedule or near each other's schedule. The new Exodus fleet has several options you can take while you're in the same sector as the fleet. You can acquire resources, crew members, and request assistance vessels to your aid. You can buy technology anywhere as well, see the status of the fleet, and if you're not in the same area as the fleet, you can call them to your sector. All in all, they offer a number of different services as long as you have the prestige points to use. When fighting against crawler-type aliens, try to keep your distance. Best case scenario is if you can shoot them behind a broken ship hull, as you can fly through broken parts of the hull, but they cannot. Just like here where I'm fighting in SGS Mad Dog. HSS Ophelia is a different kind of a derelict. It is actually a claimable ship. These ships are usually more damaged than the other ones, which is a bit of odd. Well, game balancing is a thing. Anyway, I have never actually rebuilt any of these things. The point of getting these is that they can offer you tech that you do not have researched yet. The problem is that you will need to rebuild the broken systems, and it can be too costly to fix the ship instead of just continuing with the one you have built yourself. Especially on the harder difficulties where you only get scrap from dismantling the ship, and I believe flying on multiple ships is rather expensive, despite the fact that hyperfuel is rather easy to come by. However, whether you want to keep the ship or not, always claim the ship. Claim the ship means the ownership of everything on the ship becomes your property, and then you can dismantle everything to get the maximum amount of resources from them. On normal and easier difficulties, you will get the blocks, and on harder ones you will get the full amount of scrap. If you just turn it into a derelict, you will get the usual chance of getting some scrap when dismantling. The third time I returned to the abandoned mining facility was the last. This time we turned this place into a derelict and scrap it. Now, what I said about claiming and abandoning ships does not apply to a starting base in the abandoned mining facility scenario. For now, this is an exception. You cannot dismantle the station without first abandoning it. Hence, the things you get from here will always be a chance of scrap. I honestly think this might be the reality before or after 1.0 release is done for all claimable ships. I suspect a nerf is coming to claiming and dismantling pre-built ships, as the resources you get from them is just too huge. With the resources from the recent exploration and derelict dismantling, we can upgrade the ship. This begins from the aft section. The engines are upgraded to the higher version, the power generator is upgraded to an X1 and moved into the aft section, same with the ore processor, and the aft section is slowly turning into an industrial section as well, with a recycler and an energy refinery added there. Next to the shuttle area on the port side, I have added 6 solar generators to help out with the power conservation. The old industrial area on the starboard side is turning into a greenhouse with hydroponic farms. Moving to the bow, the bedrooms are turned into individual rooms. This change is still in the progress as of right now. In the center where the old generator was, I'm going to add 2-point defense weapons. So far we have been extremely lucky and we have survived without needing these. One of the biggest things that have helped is the shield generator on the aft section that I built at some point. If possible, get the shield generator built as soon as possible, and only after that start diverting resources to the point defense systems. The shields are far more reliable in avoiding asteroid damage. Bots will still take you down without any offensive capabilities, but with shields you can escape with no or minimal damage from most situations. Later on, the aft section looks a bit more industrialized. We have 2 airlocks with a body storage in the middle. A revise to this is coming, FYI. Two large storages are close to the airlocks. The aft section has all the industrial buildings currently available and will house the rest once the tech becomes available. We have 2 ship cargo storages on the back, and 3 upgraded engines provide the ship the jump capabilities we need. There are 4 elements you need to survive in Spacehaven: food, water, hyperfuel, and power. Power is easy to get in small amounts with a solar panel, but you should get the X1 power generator as soon as possible. With the refiner, you can turn 1 energium into 2 energium rods, meaning you will be doubling your energy reserves rather easily. I originally built the item fabricator to make weapons for my crew, but I must say that being an arms dealer in the galaxy is extremely profitable. You only need plastic and steel plates to make rifles, for example, and you can easily make 400 to 500 plus CAS per weapon. So the course is set. We will sell weapons to our friendly factions. Moving between clusters can offer lucrative opportunities. Just remember that energy production in these areas from solar panels is extremely low, so be careful that you do not run out of energium while in the lanes between clusters. When fighting humans, your enemies may surrender. If you cannot finish off everyone on the ship or base, I would advise taking out as many enemies as possible. If enemies surrender and you don't want to take them as prisoners, execute them. Of course, different factions may wish to capture certain other faction members, so you can profit from taking prisoners and selling them to their opposing factions. While we have made progress in the game during the 128 game days, we are still no match with enemy ships that have guns. The shields provide some protection, but we have no offensive capabilities. In short, we have no guns to shoot back with. In this case, the only options we have are either to flee or try to board the enemy ship as quickly as possible. Their attack will cease if you can engage the crew member manning the weapons console, but to be completely safe, we need to completely wipe out their crew. As I have mentioned before, prisoners can be released to certain factions for money or reputation gains, and we managed to capture 6 pirate faction members this time. However, the downside is that we need to keep them alive until we reach a military ship or outpost, so we need extra oxygen and food for them and a brick where we can hold them. Oh, and note that you may not be able to release everyone to a single ship or base. They have a capacity limit on how many they can take. You can also keep people on board as prisoners and try to recruit them. A good reason for keeping the airlocks in a single place is the fact that enemies can try to bore through them, so keeping them in a single place means that you can create well-defended choke points on your ship. Having a body storage close by also means that any dead enemies are easy to put into storage. And with that, it's time to call it a day for this episode. Thank you all for watching, I hope you've enjoyed and will be returning for the episode 3. Bye for now.